Yo, what's going on, AP Government peeps? We have video number 7 for you in the AP Government series. This one is on citizens' belief about government and leaders as well. All right, let's talk about something called political efficacy. You got to know what this is. Think about it. Tell me what it is. Do you know it? Yeah, you probably do. It is faith and belief in the government and belief that an individual's actions can impact the government. In other words, it's how you feel about government and whether or not you feel you can impact government. The higher one's political efficacy is, the more likely that person is to vote. So if you have a very low political efficacy, if you don't think you can change the government, you're not likely to vote. Conversely, if you think you are likely to change the government, you are likely to vote. This goes both ways. Many young Americans have a low or lack of political efficacy. So you don't see a lot of young people voting because they don't feel they can change the government. Okay, let's jump over some basic American political beliefs. As a whole, Americans tend to believe in the following. 1, political equality. 2, free enterprise or capitalism. 3, equality for opportunities. And 4, a general mistrust of the government, especially since the 1960s. Let's break each one of these categories down. All right, political equality has been a major focus in the last half of the 20th century. If you've taken a U.S. history course, you know this. We see it in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which has greatly increased political equality for Americans. And you see LBJ here signing one of these acts with right behind him, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Most Americans believe in political equality and they support government protection of it. So the government needs to step in and make sure that political equality is for everyone. Political equality is extended more to minority groups, however, than it has to women. So take a look at, you need to look no further than the failed Equal Rights Amendment of the 1970s and 80s to see that minority groups have benefited more from political equality than women have. All right, free enterprise. Most Americans believe in the free enterprise system, which is really kind of the modern day capitalism is developed by this dude, Adam Smith. They also believe that government should protect an individual's right to pursue economic opportunities. So it is your right for the government to protect your ability to become wealthy. Some argue that government has gone too far in promoting business. And going back to those theories that we talked about of government, one of them, you can connect this to the elitism view that the few, the wealthy, the powerful really control the government. And some people argue that the government's gone too far in promoting businesses and that those businesses have too much power. You could connect that to the elitism view we talked about. All right, let's jump over to equality for opportunities. Although, very important, I've seen multiple choice questions about this. Although most Americans favor political equality, many do not support economic equality. Very important to note. Constitutional amendments provide political and social equality, but not economic equality. You'll see this in several examples. There's the 14th Amendment, which provided equal protection under the law. The 15th Amendment, which provided for universal male suffrage, passed during the days of Reconstruction. The 17th Amendment, which provided for the direct election of U.S. senators. And this guy, William Jennings Bryan, a 3-time presidential candidate, was a big believer of the direct election of U.S. senators. The 19th Amendment, women's suffrage. So over 50% of the population was now eligible to vote. A key figure in this movement was this woman, Alice Paul. And we also have the 24th Amendment, which outlawed poll taxes. And finally, the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age to 18. So all these are examples of political and social equality. And notice there isn't one of economic equality for amendments in the Constitution. Now, mistrust of government. This is the last major belief of Americans, and there's two things you need to be familiar with: seasonal versus structural distrust. Seasonal is temporary, and this decline is usually due to something like a recession. Structural is overall distrust, regardless of the economy or really what's going on at that given time, and this tends to be permanent and not temporary. Since the 1960s, there has been structural distrust in the U.S. government and pretty darn high structural distrust as well. This is due to things like the Vietnam War, the Pentagon Papers, and the Watergate scandal, which saw the resignation of Richard Nixon. We also have stagflation from the 1970s, which is really high on unemployment plus high inflation. That's a very bad combination. And increasing partisanship or lack of compromise in Congress between the two political parties. And in recent years, government distrust has increased to as high as 80+%. That is huge. That is a staggeringly high number. And after September 11th, the public trust in government increased, although that was really just temporarily. All right, let's do a quick recap. Political efficacy, what is it? How does it affect your ability to vote? Remember, Americans support political equality, but not economic equality. What are some reasons for structural distrust of government as well? And know the amendments that promote political equality in the Constitution. All right, for test tips, multiple choice, belief in political equality, not economic equality. I've said that about 5 times. It's that important to know and be able to identify reasons for distrust in the government. For free response, same exact thing. Be able to identify and expand on reasons for distrust in government. All right, guys, look forward to seeing you right back here for video number 8, process by which citizens learn about politics. Who is this dude right here? Oh, yeah, that's me. We'll figure out why I'm going to be in the next video. All right, guys, I thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section below, and have a good day.